Jai Guruji everyone. Here's an 8th satsang from the book Light of Divinity. This satsang belongs to an uncle whose name is not mentioned in the book. The heading goes under Guruji's Chhatra Chhaya. In the April 1995, uncle's family went to Guruji for the first time in Delhi through their chacha and chachi. Uncle was just married a few months before in October 1994. In those days, Guruji would dip his Rudraksh mala into the water and the Charnamrit so made would be offered. Langar was given to just a chosen few and Guruji would himself distribute the chapatis along with his blessings. Guruji himself just lived on the liquids for most of the week. He broke his fast on Thursday nights with some solid food and ate food only on Fridays and Saturdays. In the months that followed, Uncle's family visited Guruji a few times, but Guruji didn't say much to them. And then early in July, Guruji left for his village in the Punjab. As Guruji was getting into his car, he turned to Uncle's mother and said, "Get your daughter-in-law's fallopian tubes checked. There is some problem." The gynecologist was approached and she said she would pass a dye through the tubes and attend to any blockage if there was one. This was done and the doctors felt that that was the end of the matter. Uncle's wife in the interim had a miscarriage. They visited Guruji in Chandigarh and in Jalandhar in the next few months, but they still never had the opportunity to have an extended conversation with Guruji. At the same time, in all fairness, they never asked for anything, nor indeed even wanted anything from Guruji. Then Uncle's wife got pregnant again. The pregnancy was barely confirmed when the doctor said that the fetus was not viable and a DNC would be necessary. This was done. A few days later, his wife suddenly complained about an intense pain in her abdomen. Uncle's initial reaction was that this couldn't be a gynecological problem, but the pain was increasing so rapidly that they rushed to the hospital. The doctor too arrived and straightaway took his wife to the examining room. Soon the doctor came out and said to him, "Go and organize some blood." It was an emergency. Apparently, there was another healthy fetus growing in his wife's fallopian tubes. The ectopic pregnancy had burst, destroying one tube and badly damaging the other. A fatal septicemia threat was caught just in a nick of time, and with Guruji's grace, Uncle's wife's life was saved. Too late, but the doctor now realized what Guruji had been saying about the fallopian tubes, and of course, normal chance of conception was now zero. For a while now, Guruji had not been available neither in Jalandhar nor in Chandigarh, and in fact, they were fast concluding that Guruji was not going to come to Delhi at all. On the Lodi day, that is 13th January 1998, Uncle's mother suddenly came out of her puja room to say that Guruji's fragrance was all over the home and emanating from his shoes that Guruji had given her. In the home, they all experienced the fragrance and understood it to mean that Guruji was thinking about them. This contented them. A couple of hours later, they had a call from Guruji's Sevadar to say that Guruji was in town and wanted to meet them at night at Siddharth Hotel. A small handful of people were invited. In the course of next few months, it was this small group of people that Guruji occasionally met with. On 13th April 1998, that is the Vaisakhi day, the doors of Empire State were thrown open and Guruji Sangats was invited in. Guruji was now seated on his gaddi. They were asked to join in the Langar Seva, and soon Uncle's full family was involved with washing utensils, making chapatis and whatever other kitchen duties came to hand. In addition, they were also involved with the Chai Seva. It was August 1998 that Guruji had a long one-on-one conversation with the uncle. He called Uncle to his room and at first just chit-chatted. Then he talked to him in depth and blessed him. And it was ecstatic with the joy of his exclusive attention. Uncle's wife and uncle were now in the Guruji's Sthan 7 days of the week and completely involved with the seva. However, after a while, Uncle's wife began to reduce her visits to Empire State. She wanted to take a break and felt dejected as she saw others were being blessed and not her. However, she never asked Uncle to discontinue going there. He continued at Guruji's place, happily involved with performing the seva without any expectations. Just to be in Guruji's presence was contentment itself. This state of affairs continued right through the following year too. Early in 2000, though, Guruji sent for his wife. This was sometime around Shivratri. General Grewal asked Auntie to press Guruji's feet, and in the course of her performing this seva, Guruji in his own manner said he had blessed her. They did not quite know what Guruji meant by that statement, but it was soon to become clear. His wife exhibited some symptoms and they went for a pregnancy test. Her pregnancy was confirmed. The doctors were stunned. How did this happen? All his wife had was a single highly damaged fallopian tube. How could a pregnancy happen via that source? Subsequently, Guruji called the gynecologist in his own way to receive his blessings. Uncle's wife was told to move to her parents' house and stay there during the course of her pregnancy, and Guruji found unique ways of staying in touch with the baby in the womb. He gave uncle certain articles of clothing, his t-shirts, his shorts, and later when the baby was growing, his lungi, and asked his wife to wear them. Later, as the pregnancy progressed, Guruji asked him to carry his pillowcase and a bedsheet over to his wife's place where she was staying and asked her to use them. After a month before the baby was due, a fresh problem was found by the doctors. The baby was found to be in a breech position. The doctor began suggesting a caesarean operation might be necessary, but Guruji was not in favor of that remedy. Guruji sent some prasad to his wife, told uncle to make her eat it that very night. The next morning, they scheduled to visit the doctor for an examination, and to their surprise, the baby had turned. The threat of a caesarean receded. After a month later, his wife went into the labor early morning, and soon the contractions were strong and frequent, but the baby's head was not locking in and dilation wasn't happening. The doctor again feared an emergency caesarean operation. Uncle tried to call Guruji but couldn't reach him. But soon a message came that uncle had to go and do some daan. Guruji then called him and said, "Message mila." He affirmed that he had done as told. Then Guruji said to tell doctors to proceed with normal delivery. And indeed, the delivery was entirely normal and smooth, in spite of the cord wrapped around the baby's neck a little learning. So they experienced miracle after miracle, with the most wonderful one being the blessing of a beautiful baby girl. They were even more fortunate that Guruji visited them in the hospital post-delivery. Later learned that Guruji had been at the Bade Mandir all morning alleviating the kasht to facilitate the smooth birth. Guruji blessed their daughter even more, naming her himself. Their daughter took little time to toddle, and they were beginning to get concerned about this fact when Guruji summoned them to Jalandhar, where he was visiting just then. Uncle Ji carried their daughter in his arms and went visiting Guruji at his Jalandhar Mandir. As they opened to the outer mash door, Guruji called out, "Aa gaye ho, bacche nu chhad de." And he did. Their daughter just didn't take her first walking steps, she ran to Guruji. Uncle couldn't have worried about all the stuff lying around the mandir which a little toddler could have stumbled over, but he also knew that under Guruji's chhatra chaya he could never come to any harm. Such is the grace of our Guruji, such is his meher. That's our Guruji. Thank you for listening. Jai Guruji, Shukrana Guruji. Love you Guruji.